This is Gary with GEEZBEEZ. It's a beautiful Good Friday today. It's about 65 degrees out right now, so we're going to come out and we're going to put the lids that we built with the insulation on the inside. We're going to put those on these split row, the smaller split row that we have. We're going to go through these today. We're going to kind of evaluate the queens. We've got new queens coming in about 7 days. So we're going to evaluate the queens, see how they're doing, replace the ones that need replacing. We're also going to go over onto the production row, go through some of the production hives and see what we can need to split off, or if we need to split some of them off for the remaining queens that we bought. I bought 10 queens. We should have enough to do some splits with and to replace any queens that we need to replace. Okay, so this hive has been doing really good on their spawn. It looks like they're really doing good here. They've really grown. So we're just going to leave them be. We know they've got stores. Obviously she's laying up pretty good. We can take a peek at a frame or two to see what her pattern looks like. It's like they've really taken after that fondant. There's just a little bit left in the bottom. So we've got drone brood up here. They've got some stores in there. A little bit of nectar. A little bit of pollen. A little bit of nectar. There's the queen right there. There's the queen. She's laying a nice pattern. A few drone cells in between. So we're going to let her go. So they do have some nectar. I'm going to let them finish off that Hive Life fondant. There's just a little bit left. You can see right in here, there's just a tiny bit left. On this side and on this side, so they're still working it. We're going to let them go ahead and finish that off. They'll probably finish it off this week. Like they've gone through a lot of that. There's still probably half of that left. I can lift that up for you. You'll see they've taken a lot of that. There's some left on the sides, about like the other one. Got a little nectar, a little bit of pollen, mainly nectar in that frame. They are bringing just a little bit of pollen in. I don't have pollen patties on them. They pretty well finished all their pollen patties. I could do another round of pollen patties. There's a lot of pollen in that. So I don't believe I'm going to. If you can. So I think we can get them off their pollen patties. Let's see what we've got brood wise. Probably on this frame. Oh yeah. A lot of eggs in between. Really nice pattern. I do not see the queen on this frame, so we'll go to the next one. But she's really laid that up, so. This one's really laid up nice too. This is newer. See, it's a little lighter in color than the other one was. There she is right there. See her right there? So she's doing a really fine job. We'll scoot back over to her slowly. Put this one back together. Get these frames smashed back together good. Let them finish that fondant off this week probably, and we'll pull that all back off. We'll put a new roof on all these. They're pretty much in the sun all the time. Okay, so we definitely need to get this thing off here. This is what they do when they are looking for a place to build wax. They start going up. They like to build up. So if you leave your feeders on too long, that's what happens. So that's a waste of comb and a waste of energy for them. So we'll definitely try to get them off. And they have finished that hive alive. There's not anything hardly left in that at all. I'll try to get most of those guys out. Get most of these girls out of here. Okay. Maybe a couple left. We'll throw them on the ground. They'll make their way in. They definitely are bringing a little nectar in. There's just a little bit of nectar in this. We will take this off, set this in front of the hive. Let's check out and see what we've got here. I've been bringing that foundation out a little bit on that side. They do have a little bit of pollen, a little bit of nectar in the corners. Some eggs, a little bit of milk brood. Pattern's not quite as good as the last one. We'll see kind of how many we've got here. There's the first one. Starting to get some numbers up. A lot of brood, a lot of milk brood in between. Yeah, she's laying in between those pretty good. Probably on this frame. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, she's got this filled up too. There she is right there. She's a pretty good sized queen. She's really laying this one up. It's doing well. So we'll leave them alone and get them put back together. We'll knock these guys off of this lid. And we will take these off. And we'll give them a new lid. Yeah, this one didn't make it. Well, maybe they did. If they did, they're small. Yeah, they've got one frame still going they're working on. We'll see what we got going here. We may just have to combine them with another hive. So a little bit of nectar there. There's the queen right there. Now she's laid this up, this whole frame, pretty good. We'll keep a watch on her, but I'm going to put a question mark on this one for sure. When we get the new queens, we'll take a look and see what she's done this upcoming week as far as laying pattern. how many she's got. That one frame was full, but she hasn't done much other than that. So we'll leave their stuff on them. They didn't have much stores. I'm going to put a pollen patty on them because I did not see hardly any pollen in there. Just a little bit of pollen patty on them. We do have just a little bit of pollen coming in today, not much, and they didn't have any stored. So that'll help them maybe a little bit. Put a new lid on. I'm going to kick that brick up to let me know to check them for a new queen next time. They just taking just a little bit of that Hive Alive, not a whole lot. Drawing that out a little bit. No stores. Laid this out, quite a bit of eggs and brood there. Quite a bit here. Yeah, pretty, not real bad here. Did not see a queen. Well, we'll definitely put this one on for a new queen because it's pretty weak. Kick that one all the way up. We will put a new queen in that one. So they have moved up quite a bit into this box, into this deep. Looks like she's got some brood going into here. Let's go ahead and take a peek. See how she's doing up in this box here. Take that piece of, there you go. Looks like they've taken that whole pollen patty. I left them on bottom. That was what was left of it. Let's see if there's any laying going on up here. I know that bottom one's pretty full, but I don't know if she's come up here yet or not. There she is right there. So she's made her way up into the second box. She's going to start laying up here. So we will carefully Slide her down. So we've got our 10 frames. We know we're good on bottom. We know she's moving up to the top. So we're gonna go ahead and leave this on. We will put them a new lid on. Look at this drone. It's kind of copper colored bands. He's kind of pretty, isn't he? You see him? Okay, looks like they've taken a lot of this. A tiny bit left of this. I'll go ahead and leave it on, but we will definitely be pulling these off at the end of next week when we get our queens. Let's see if they've come up in this any at all. Yeah, they're starting to draw some of these frames out. So see if the queen has come up any. See if there's any laying going on in this. They have taken that whole pollen patty I put on last week. I can see it down there. There's just a little bit of it left. So they are starting to come up into this second deep. Go ahead and take this off. We definitely are going to have to probably use some of this brood out of the bottom and either move it up to the top till we do have some going into the top, or we can split some of this off because it is just jam-packed all the way across. We'll take a look at a couple of frames. Starting to pull that frame out. That's the very end frame. Oops. Give them just a little bit. Come down just a little bit. Okay. Not seeing much pollen. Some pretty shiny cells. Let's see if we can find her real quick. Looks like some eggs, a little bit of pollen, a little bit of nectar, a few drones. There's a lot of bees in here. We may move a couple of these frames up, kind of get her to move this brood nest up, because they're definitely spread out good. Got brooding eggs in there. Brooding eggs in here. Same here. Brooding eggs here. There's the queen. Well, she's just right there. There she is right there. So she's really going to town. So that's 4. There's 5. Really nice. Got a couple of cups on that one, but nothing in them. There's 6. There's 7. So she's got 7 good brood frames. So probably next week we'll be pulling some off of this. We'll see how they do when they come up into this other deep, but I think we'll take a few frames and either equalize something with it or start some nukes. Because we're still probably a month away from any really good flow. We're getting just trickles right now. So we don't want them getting too big. Okay. Really, really light on that. They probably got a quarter of that left. See what kind of room we've got in this. I put this deep on a couple of weeks ago, or this medium, I mean, on a couple of weeks ago, and they've got a little bit of pollen in here, a little bit of nectar. So looks like down below they look good. We're going to leave them alone. We're going to move along. It's like they've just about done away with all that fondant. Oops. And let's check this to see if they've come up on this in this deep much. Yep. We've got brood up here. So they are moving up. So we're gonna let them be. Let's see what down below, if we got anything we've got going on down here. Oh yeah, this one's full. This is another one that's pretty full. Probably got about 6 brood frames. It looks like it's running, I don't know what's running into this one, but we'll look at it and see. Nope. Okay. Yeah, she's laying real well in between the capped. See the milk brood down in there. So yeah, they're good to go. Move this over there. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, looks like they've just about done away with that one. Does have a little bit left. We'll leave that for them. They've really moved up into this, strong into this medium I put on top. I put this on here just kind of because they had really grown fast, and it looks like they're really moving up into it. So let me take some of this out. Look at it and see what they're doing with it. They've got some stores up in this. Yeah, she's laying this up. So she's moved up into her 3rd box. So we'll be splitting some off of this. When we get our queens, we'll just create another colony. Between this and that one down there, we can probably put 5 frames pretty easy. Slowing down there just a little bit. They are drawing those out, so they've got just a little bit of stores in that next one. So They've got plenty of stores up here. Move this one over. Yeah, they got just a little bit of honey in there, or a little bit of nectar. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. We'll leave that out there for them. They're gonna get all over that. So. All right. I've got plenty of stores, so I think I'm just gonna take this off. Let's see if we can. Most of them off of there. Let them work their way back in. We'll just put that right on top. Let them finish what little bits left of that. Wow, a lot of bees in this. Looks like they're over halfway done with that. We'll leave that on for them. Gotta get some of those off there. We'll see if they've moved up into this. Any? They are bringing those out. That one is full. So they are moving up. Put this back together. They are taking all their sugar. This is the one that had a lot of sugar in it. That's all they've got left. Got almost a whole one. So in a week and a half, they've taken all that sugar. Oops. See, they're pretty much covering About 7 up here. Let's see what they look like. If she's moved up here, they're just building this out. There's a lot of bees up here. That one's just being built out. This is another medium on top of a deep. Yeah, she's moved up. There's a queen cell with nothing in it. We do have brood on this frame and the next frame. Looks like they run over to here with brood, so we're probably about 5 on the medium. We'll look down below just for a moment. How's that look below? Looks pretty good. Yeah, we're pretty full there. One pretty well all the way across. Let's take a look at a couple frames. A lot of nectar in this one. Some brood going on in this one. Pretty well nectar filled in on this. A lot of brood. A lot of brood. There's a couple of brood frames. A little bit on that one. If I can, now they're just bringing that out. Some milk brood, a little bit of drone brood, regular brood. This is all nectar. They definitely have something coming in. This is all backfilled with nectar. So that's probably why she's moved up, because these are all pretty well backfilled with nectar. They're filling it with nectar in between, and they are bringing these out a little bit. So she's got that medium frame or medium box. Okay. So this one has plenty of stores. So I'm going to take this off. On that one. Let them have that little piece of sugar left. Got just a little bit of that hive alive left. Looks like they're moving up into this deep. Starting to draw that out just a little bit. Take that out real quick. See if we've got any brood going on these frames. Little, no. I have just a little bit on this one, and there is some eggs in between. I don't know if you can get a good shot of that in there. So they are starting up into this deep. We'll see if we can see her on this next frame. If not, she's probably in the bottom. But she has moved her way up just a little bit to the top. Man. She's definitely laying up here. I am not seeing her right off. So she's probably in the bottom. Okay, so they've got about half of that gone to about here. They've taken a little bit of pollen patty. Looks like they've come out a little stronger on another frame. Let's check these frames to see what we've got. There are only 2 frames about 2 weeks ago, so see if she's laid anything at all in here. And if not, we'll be getting a new queen for this one. Yeah, she's got some in there. Some pollen, some nectar, some milk brood. In between that, little bit of laying that's going on there. A little bit of cat brood. There's some milk brood in between. Yeah, she's laid in between this one really good. and in between this one. So she's starting to come out a little bit. So we've got almost 5 full frames of bees. She is laden up on 3 so far. And it looks like she's got 4 of them laid up. So it looks like they're going into a 5th one over there. So they're not real strong, but they're much better than they were a month ago, for sure. It looks like they have not taken any of this. So very little. Okay, so we're on 2 deep. That looks like maybe these 2 frames. Let's see what we got up on below. Thing hanging off the bottom. Okay. Drawing these out. Quite a bit in between. Going in between on that one. Same on this one. A lot laid in between on that one. So we're just going to put them back together. Look like they've got about 4 good frames. We are getting pretty good looking brood patterns on most of them. Looks like there's probably 3 or 4 that are going to need queens. We'll take and split some off for the rest of the queens. I've also got up on the hill, I've got a couple I'm going to split up there also, and then one in my other yard that I'm probably going to be splitting. So they're doing well. I've taken sugar off most of them, and most of them have pretty well used their emergency stuff up. I think they're bringing enough in. From what I see, they do have just a little bit of stores, and I think things are coming on good enough now. I'm going to kind of watch them, but I may just do one round of sugar water feed or something next week. But some of them are bringing enough in where they don't need anymore. So anyway, that's an update. Thank you.